Welcome to another fascinating opening trap. This is the Shilling Gambit, and if you know how to play this gambit, you can crush your opponent in just 7 moves. Yes, you heard it right. This gambit starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. This is the Italian game. And now the Shilling Gambit starts with knight d4. Here the most logical move for white is to capture this pawn because it comes with the tempo on this f7 pawn and white is gonna capture it in the next move. So what do we have? Let's see. This queen is now jumping on g5 square, attacking this knight and also the pawn. In the worst possible scenario, this knight can go for the capture, saying okay, now I am forking your queen and the rook. But this is the deadliest mistake and white can easily get checkmated. After you capture the pawn, this rook is attacked, so it should move. If the rook moves, now you deliver a check with the queen. This bishop blocks, and now this smothered mate comes over the board. So what happens if this bishop goes for the capture? Let's see. If the bishop goes for the capture, then it's obvious. You're gonna move the king first, and now this knight is attacked. So this should definitely move. So if white tries to move this knight, then this is obviously again the lost position. You can capture the pawn, and if this rook moves, again this is the checkmate. After you capture on e4, this queen blocks, and you can deliver this wonderful checkmate. Now let's see the other line. If white says, okay, I am going to capture this knight and in the next move, I'm gonna move this knight. But obviously again, this is the same way you can deliver a checkmate. So all the moves are moving, just losing here. So now, let's see the most resilient way for white. Here, white can play this knight c4. Then, after capturing this pawn, this rook is saved. And obviously, you do not gonna capture this pawn now because this is simply, this knight is going to block and you have no compensation. So, after this move, you do not have to capture it and you can deliver this check, and now the king moves. You can capture the other pawn. Now at this point of time you are threatening this check, winning this bishop. So obviously bishop captures. Then you can go for the rook capture, and now capturing with the queen. After several captures, you can see this knight is going to block, and now you win this bishop. Here at this position you have the bishop pair and you are a pawn up. Obviously this exchange is going to be really helpful for you to win the game. So this is completely winning position after this move. Now let's see how to defend this gambit correctly. If your opponent plays in front of you, then after this line, it should not go for the pawn, and obviously the most outstanding move here is to capture, and after the pawn captures, this pawn is not going to be really helpful for black, and any move you play is just lost because white can just castle, and the next move its all pieces is going to work, and this pawn is pretty much pushed beyond and it can be captured easily, and white's all pieces are still in the last rank. So obviously this is the winning position for white. So if you play this gambit, you have to keep in mind that do not go for the pawn. Obviously you should capture the knight. So how was the video? You can subscribe this channel right now as I bring these types of tactics every day, and you will surely gonna learn more of the tricks and you can defeat your opponent in just the quickest way possible.